The galaxy was vast, filled with countless civilizations and cultures, each with its own unique strengths and weaknesses. Among them, the humans of Earth were a relatively young species on the interstellar stage. They had clawed their way into the stars through ingenuity, determination, and an innate refusal to back down when challenged. And among their ranks stood a legend, Master Sergeant John Hawks Hawkins, the American sniper. His reputation was both feared and admired across the galaxy. Stories of his accuracy, patience, and uncanny ability to eliminate targets from impossible distances had spread far and wide. For some, he was a myth. For others, he was a cautionary tale. And for a select few, he was the reason their empires had crumbled. John had been enjoying a rare bit of downtime on a peaceful colony world named Serenia. The planet's rolling meadows, clear skies, and friendly locals were a welcome break from his usual assignments. He spent his days teaching young colonists how to shoot and his nights sipping on the local brew while listening to their stories. But peace was never meant to last. The Galactic Union's emergency broadcast interrupted a particularly spirited game of darts at the local tavern. A hologram of Admiral Rukta, a reptilian Zithari, appeared in the air. Citizens of Serenia, this is an urgent message. The Dravik Empire has invaded our borders and is targeting your colony. Evacuation is recommended. Reinforcements are on the way. The room erupted into chaos. Families scrambled to gather their belongings, and local militia members started organizing defenses. Amidst the panic, John calmly finished his drink, adjusted his cap, and walked outside to survey the situation. The Dravik Empire was notorious for its brutal tactics and overwhelming firepower. Serenia, with its meager defenses, stood no chance against them. But John Hawkins wasn't about to let innocent people suffer without a fight. He approached the colony's militia leader, a young man named Elias. "What's the plan?" John asked, his voice steady and reassuring. Elias, overwhelmed by the situation, stammered, "We're setting up defenses, but we don't have enough weapons or people. We're just buying time for the evacuation." John placed a hand on Elias's shoulder. "You focus on getting the civilians out. I'll handle the rest." The young leader looked at him, confused. "What do you mean, handle the rest?" John's lips curled into a smirk. "Just point me to the high ground." Within an hour, John had transformed a small hill overlooking the colony into his personal fortress. He had scrounged up an old Zithari rifle, a weapon not nearly as advanced as the ones he was used to, but sufficient for his needs. The militia watched in awe as he methodically set up his position, calibrating the rifle and marking distances with an efficiency that spoke of decades of experience. When the Dravik dropships appeared on the horizon, the colony braced for the worst. The militia scrambled to man their positions, while families boarded evacuation shuttles as quickly as they could. John lay prone on the hilltop, his rifle trained on the advancing forces. The first shot rang out like thunder, echoing across the valley. A Dravik officer collapsed, his helmet shattered by the precision shot. Before the enemy could react, a second soldier fell, then a third. Panic spread through their ranks as they realized they were under attack from an unseen sniper. John moved like a ghost, relocating after every few shots. The Dravik soldiers fired wildly in his direction, their energy blasts scorching the ground but never coming close to hitting him. Each time they thought they had pinpointed his location, he was already gone, striking from a new angle. The militia, emboldened by his actions, began to fight back with renewed vigor. The young colonists who had taken John's shooting lessons started picking off Dravik soldiers with surprising accuracy. Elias, inspired by the sniper's calm demeanor, took command with a newfound confidence, directing his troops with precision. Amidst the chaos, John found time for a bit of humor. After taking out a particularly ornery Dravik commander, he muttered to himself, "Should have ducked, buddy." The tide of the battle began to turn. What should have been an easy conquest for the Dravik Empire turned into a nightmare. Their forces were in disarray, their morale shattered by the relentless sniper who seemed untouchable. As the sun set, the Dravik forces retreated, leaving behind their dead and wounded. The colony erupted in cheers, their unlikely victory a testament to the power of determination and one man's unparalleled skill. But John wasn't done yet. He knew the Dravik would return, likely with reinforcements. That night, he worked with the militia to fortify their defenses, setting traps and ambush points that would make the terrain a death trap for any invaders. The next morning, as the colonists prepared for the inevitable second wave, John took a moment to teach Elias how to use a sniper rifle. The young leader struggled at first, but John's patience and encouragement paid off. "You've got a good eye," John said with a grin. "Just remember, it's not about how fast you shoot. It's about making every shot count." When the Dravik reinforcements arrived, they were met with a wall of resistance. The traps slowed their advance, and the militia's newfound confidence turned the battlefield into a slaughterhouse. John, perched on his hilltop, continued to rain death upon the enemy, each shot a reminder of why he was a legend. At one point, he noticed a group of Dravik soldiers trying to flank the colony. With a calm breath, he lined up his shot and fired, the bullet ricocheting off a rock and hitting 2 soldiers at once. 2 for 1, he chuckled. Not bad. By the time the Galactic Union reinforcements arrived, the Dravik forces were in full retreat. Serenia had been saved, thanks to the efforts of its people, and one extraordinary sniper. As the Union soldiers secured the area, their commander approached John. "We owe you a debt of gratitude, Master Sergeant. Your actions here will be remembered." John shrugged, slinging his rifle over his shoulder. "Just doing my job. Besides, someone had to teach these kids how to fight." The colonists gathered to thank him, their smiles and laughter a stark contrast to the fear and chaos of the previous days. For the first time in a long while, John allowed himself to relax. As he prepared to leave Serenia, Elias approached him. "Thank you, Sergeant Hawkins. You've given us hope." John smiled, ruffling the young man's hair. "Just remember, kid, never ever mess with an American sniper." And with that, he walked off into the sunset, leaving behind a legend that would inspire generations to come.